Hello, my name is Sebastian, and it's nice to have you here on my Patreon campaign, and thank you for your interest. Today I want to talk a little bit about what I am thinking this whole campaign stuff is all about, and to make sure that we're on the same page. First of all, what's the broad approach? I love playing Dungeons and Dragons, but because my real life Vincenti, real life friends don't share that interest, I resort to play that online with online sessions using virtual tabletop software. And I had a look around, and I came across Roll20. You probably know Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds. Sorry. But you might not know about Foundry VTT, because I had a look at Roll20 and it felt like being dragged into the 80s, like the user interface is really horrible and they should be ashamed to offer a service like that. But that's just my humble opinion. So I looked around. I haven't looked at Fantasy Grounds and I watched the Kickstarter, but what I don't like about it is that, and I hope I'm not misinformed there, what I don't like is that you need to pay money as a player to download or license a client. That's absolutely legitimate from a company perspective, but it's just not applicable for me because I'm going into a Discord server and I try to figure out, is there a round going on? Can I join, or should I GM for a round like very spontaneously and having a client? That's just not working with my community. So I had to look further, and I came across Foundry VTT. This is a tabletop software that's currently in development by Atropos. He is a great and nice guy. I talk to him regularly on his own Discord, where he welcomes other developers with open arms. That means the base is closed source, but much of the surroundings is like, at least it's not open source, it's still his code, but we can have a look around, we can see how he does things, and we can attach modules and extensions to the Foundry core to adjust the game experience that it suits us best. And in my opinion, what I am doing is I'm looking at the whole software, and I think about what can be done faster, easier, or more usable for both GMs and players. Because I am a 40-year-old male, I've got a family, I've got a full-time job, and a desire to sleep sometimes, at least a couple of hours a day. So my spare time is very limited. And when I have spare time and I have been able to play, I cannot, it must just work. It must be easy and not be cumbersome. I've no patience for like difficult UI options or stuff. So that's should belong to the past. Let's look into the future. And now with Foundry, it triggered the inner nerd with me inside me, because I could really code for Foundry. And I thought about how would I want to run a game. And seeing being better, Foundry that is, there are some shortcomings, like the D&D 5e system is pretty stable, but the edges are a little rough or very rigid. So like, for example, AC calculations, it works in just one way, but there are so many options to choose from, and it's just like that, and this is a value and you cannot change it. So I thought about, okay, let's give it time. We will be doing this more flexible down the road. Let's sort other stuff, more important stuff out first, and then go to the D&D 5e system. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm using Foundry VTT in combination with D&D Beyond, because, and as you might have noticed, D&D Beyond and Wizard of the Coast, they are really tight, I think. Because the last release, the Essentials Kit, it came with a coupon code for the Play Handbook on D&D Beyond, and that's more important, for a code that you can unlock the adventure from the Essential Kit within D&D Beyond. And as far as I remember, it's D&D Beyond exclusive. So you won't be able to play this Essential Kit on Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds. Could be wrong. But that was a strong signal that Wizard of the Coast will partner with D&D Beyond in the future, And I really like what D&D Beyond offers for the player and GM, because I'm able to, as you can see, I created a campaign, and everyone joining my campaign just joins in there, creates a character. I can share content that I'm buying, so nobody else needs to buy that. That's pretty great for the players, I agree. And all this stuff like searching through monsters digitally, the monster manual, Volo's Guide to Monsters, you name it. You've got everything on your fingertips. And with the developments that are in the pipe, like the encounter builder, which is currently in beta or alpha, I don't know, this gives me as a dungeon master the tool set that I need to react quickly to my players' absurd ideas, because they don't walk the path I prepare. They seek their own adventures, and so I need to quickly react. I need the information to react upon. I've got the input from the players, but I need to know what to do. So I need to create a new encounter on the fly. And D&D Beyond gives me tools that allows me to do that. And in this Patreon page, I will build the bridges between both of them, Foundry VTT and D&D Beyond. And one of my most precious principles that I like is ease of use. It must be really easy to use, even for people that are no computer savvy. As I'm an IT guy, and I know how difficult it is to explain someone how to use a computer if he doesn't know anything about it. And yeah, that's really important for me. So let's have a look at what I'm doing, and you will agree later that this is a great thing to do. And perhaps you will agree with your wallet too. But to that we will come right at the end of the video. So what we have here is a scene within Foundry VTT, and you see it's a really nice UI, and we need to create new actors. So my players will be managing their characters, like let's take Ridlock over here, computer savvy and IT, you know, I'm an expert, don't worry. So we are opening these characters, and my players, let's take Azaki. He will be having this sheet open in a browser tab. Like on the right hand side, he has Foundry, on the left hand side, he has his character sheet. And then he can, and let me activate that first. This is an extension by a fellow developer named KaKaRoTo. He's building the bridge between the character sheet and Foundry. So what he does is, he's like, for example, the attack with the crossbow. You see this tiny button. This is inserted by the Chrome extension, and this is Foundry. So let's create the link over here by clicking, and now he should be able to roll the crossbow within Foundry from his sheet. Like, or he can display the crossbow. See, I've really got a crossbow and I can use it. Okay? So this is working. This is how my players are playing right now. Once Foundry will develop further, this might change. We will be moving more and more within to Foundry, but the source of truth, as I say, I think will always be in D&D Beyond, because I can manage equipment there. I can see every player really in a nice overview. I like it a lot. So, but my player need to have a token on the scene, because he needs to shove it around, and based on where his token is, he can see stuff or he doesn't. So we need to import that one. This is one of the first things that my add-on suite did, and does it really good already. Still, there are glitches and bugs, but that's why it's not released yet. So we create a new character, and it doesn't matter how we name it, because we will overwrite it in a second. Then we will change into the DDB sheet. That's the sheet that I'm developing that has certain features. The standard sheet, standard Foundry sheet, hasn't. So we are switching that. You can always, later on release, you can use the default sheet or my sheet. It doesn't matter. I will support both ways. I will support always the default Foundry UI, because that's just a personal preference, what you want to use, and feel free to do whatever you want. So this is the basic sheet. It's reduced in information because, as I said, Azaki will be using this information panel. For deciding what to do, looking through his spells or his equipment or his gold stack. I'm way too generous with currencies. I see that now. So, but he will have the option to roll like constitution saving throws or investigation checks right from this clean UI looking screen. But let's import the Azaki player into here. What we do is we go to the character sheet and we append /JSON. And if you write it correctly, it will happen. Append /JSON on it and hit enter. And then you need to wait until the loading is stopped. It's pretty large data. And we select everything and copy it into the clipboard. Go over here. And then you see next to his name this little D&D Beyond icon, which is currently not highlighted, not red. So we click that and we paste the character data in here. It takes a little bit of time again, a couple of seconds, then we hit OK. And then we've got Azaki's proxy representation from his character sheet right in Foundry. And he's ready to go. So right now, this is his character, this is his token. And you see the view that he has, the vision, dark vision, from his night elf, I think. An elf, wood elf, not night elf, that's World of Warcraft. A wood elf, so he's pretty nice dark vision. This is automatically adjusted. And he can use, for example, that was what I developed before the D&D Beyond importer, the Tokenizer. He can just create his own token within Foundry. This is a whole different, that's another module I developed, and which provided a baseline for the monster importer. You'll see in a second. But he has the ability to update his avatar or token with a myriad of options and different layers he can stack. He can be really creative, and players like that. They like to look great in game. So you've got the tools with that. So this is the overview of Azaki, and as I said, you can just roll. What did I roll? Acrobatics skill check. He's not that acrobatic. Well, so this is what he can do. This is the player side. Now let's come to the dungeon master side, because that's, for me, it's even more important. So I've got these 3 players right now, and let's import Samzak real quick while I'm talking. They appear to have solved an adventure. They came back to the inn, and they weren't really injured. No spell slots were used, and we've got half an hour left on our session. So what do I need to do right now? I need to quickly create something for them to do, so that at the end of the session they say, "Wow, I cannot wait to come back in a week and see what's happening next." So what we will be doing is we will be using the D&D Beyond Encounter Builder to quickly select a couple of monsters and import them quickly and without effort into the scene. So this is Zamzurg. So now the party is complete. So let's go into the Encounter Builder. It's in alpha state. Okay, it's really, they gotta do something there, but they are on it, and that's really great. So what we're doing is we've got this party of 4, and they are a 3rd level. And let's say we've got, really quick, we've got an urban hill grassland environment. We want a challenge rating of not more than 3. And it would be nice if we would have something bigger than the normal monster. Okay. So what do we have here? A carrion ogre. And once you open D&D Beyond, you won't notice anything different. But you have this Foundry VTT export button here. That's actually my extension. This is the Foundry VTT bridge that I'm developing right now. This adds this button over here. And you see it's not highlighted yet, because I need to select the tab right here. So this tab is the target of the import. So let's see, the Carrion Ogre. Never used that one. A creature that has the body of an ogre and the head of a carrion crawler. That looks amazing. Ah, look at that. Okay, that's great. Let's push one of those to him. So we import it. And that's it. One click. And it's in the game. It has all the information. It has armor class, proficiency, its speed, swim, flying speed if that's applicable, all the abilities, all the skills, all the traits are set. All the features and spellbooks. We'll come to that later. Let's see it in real life. Sometimes it hiccups there, but that's the real development process I need to do right now. The effort I need to put in there. So we've got the Carrion Ogre, and let's create a border frame for it real quick, like that. So, and they don't know what it is, I assume, because I've never played with one of those. And they will just here, and let's place it in the game over here. And I did hold the Alt key, so it's not visible right now. It's hidden per default. And all they will be hearing is loud noises coming from the south, and a large boom, 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 and something roaring in the dark, or whatever something with tentacles as a face does. Oops. I don't know. But they won't know what's happening. And let's see. We've got Carrion Ogre, and it's very easy for them. But I don't want to use two of those. So let's see what a half ogre, a large giant, I don't know. Perhaps some regular ogres. So let's put one and perhaps a griffin will be too hard. CR, something a little smaller. Giant hyena. That's nice. So we've got these three monsters that we will be using right here. And where is it? The hyena. That's a really nice rampage. Ah, they won't suspect the bite attack. Very nice. Okay, we will be just quickly creating a token frame for it to make it appear a little nicer. And for the Ogre 2. There we go. Sorry, mate. That wasn't how it's supposed to be. Let's add this one again. We need to move you a little bit so your pretty face is visible, man. So, here we go. And now we mask it. So we've got this trio infernale just waiting for the unassuming party, going back to the inn, looking forward to a beer, and then they hear these cackling laughter of the giant hyena and the roaring of the ogre. Perhaps he smashes his mace on one of the houses on the south, whatever. So this is how I can really quick now create a new encounter with data that wasn't there 5 minutes ago. And that's the basic strategy that I want to have in all of my games. I want to do it quickly and effortlessly with all the information that I already have paid for that's available to me. And these are the things that I want to really bring to the table and put to use in your hands. And to have an outlook in the very future, what all these stuff, all these utilities are just utilities. What I want to do is at the end, for my Patreon people, to release one adventure, a one-shot or two-shot a month with prepared battle maps, prepared scenes, with prepared journal entries that you can reference to, so that you have constant input on adventures for your party to enjoy. And using all these D&D Beyond integrations, the Tokenizer, it's roughly 1,000 lines of code. It doesn't look like much, but really much thought has been put into that thing. And the D&D Beyond importer it's because I need to parse this HTML, and sometimes they are wording it like that. Other meta information is a little different, so it's really an effort I put into that. But it's really fun. And if I got the input from you that you agree that whatever you do, it sounds amazing and we can't wait to use it for ourselves, then please pledge on my Patreon. And if you tend to happen to have no money right now, because, well, I know when times are rough, I've been there too, it doesn't matter, because most of the things will be released for free on my website. And some things will be kept for my patrons, and some like stable releases will be for free, but the latest features or development process and the ability to influence like the direction of development or feature requests will be for patrons only. But I think that's a great compromise. So, and you yourself should ask, how do I like that idea? Will this help me to provide a great game for my players? Or do I like this guy? He seems nice. Then please hit the pledge and provide me with a bonus, with a cup of coffee or a decent meal, so you can buy a little bit shape of my spare time and push me into development mode instead of play mode. That would be very awesome. And as I said, I really like PB, so I won't provide so much for free, but that needs a certain Patreon base. So if you're doing really well and that $5 or $10 a month won't hurt you, then just think about it. There's so many people that aren't doing very well. And if you provide me with this bonus, you will pay for other people that can release content for enjoy content giving to them for free. And everyone has a warm feeling in his heart. That would be a nice world to live in, and that would be nice to actually see happening. But let's see. I've got one Patreon right now, and Tim, thank you very much for believing me this early. And let's see how it develops like in half a year. Let's talk again in half a year, and let's see where we are standing, all right? Have a great day. Have a nice weekend. Take care.